Hello team, welcome back. And in this lecture, we will see that how we will install the Grafana and how we can connect the Prometheus with the Grafana, right? So as of now, we have the Prometheus installation and we don't have the installation of the Grafana. So we will see how we can install the Grafana. So over here, we have the two machine, the Prometheus machine and the support machine. On the Prometheus machine, we are executing the Prometheus, and the support machine we created for the support utility like to connect the multiple node or to install the supporting application. In this installation, let's suppose we are not installing the Grafana on the Prometheus machine. We are installing the Grafana on some another machine like the support machine. So we will access the support machine in the console. In your case, it's up to you. If you want to install the Grafana on the same machine on where the Prometheus is running, you can definitely do it. There is no limitation. If you want to install, if you are using the Prometheus on your local machine and you want to install the Grafana on your local machine, then you can install the Grafana on your local machine as well. We are just taking the different machine because I just want to simulate the environment with the production environment where you will be having the different servers for the Prometheus and for the Grafana. I will clear out the console. We will see how we can install the Grafana. So as I told you that there are three ways to install the Grafana. First is the executable, second is the Docker, and third is the Grafana lab. We will go with the first one, the executable one. So I will search for the Grafana. Go to the official website of the Grafana, and over here you are getting a link of the downloads. I will click on the downloads. Here by default you will see this screen, and this screen is basically for the Grafana paid service. We will go with the self-managed one, right? And in the self-managed we are getting a couple of products like Grafana Loki, Grafana Tempo, and Grafana Mimir. We will go with the Grafana. Click on the more info and see. We are getting the Grafana OSS. OSS means this is the community version, right? If you will not use the community version, you can go to the product and go to this particular Grafana. This is not the community version, this is the paid version, right? But we are not going to use the paid version, we will be using the community version. So I will click on the download. Download will redirect you on this particular page, and the current version is 10.1.1. The installation is available for the Linux machine. For the Windows machine, we have the MSI and the zip file. For the Mac machine, for the Docker and Linux ARM64 as well, right? We are using the Linux, so we will directly go to the Linux. And over here you see we need to choose the version, right? Latest version is available 10.1.1. We can go to 10.1.1, which is the latest release. And here in the addition we are getting the two types. First is the enterprise type and second is the OSS type. Enterprise type is a paid version, right? We want the community one, so I will click on the OSS. The page will refresh a bit, right? And then over here we are getting the Linux, and we are getting the different Linux installation available. The Ubuntu installation, Linux binary installation, Red Hat CentOS RHEL Fedora installation, and OpenSUSE installation. What machine we are using? We are using the Ubuntu. So I will go with this particular installation. So let's execute these commands one by one. Very first I will execute this sudo apt install add user. It will take some time, let's wait. Right, this is done. Clear out the console. Now I will execute the second command where it will download the amd64.dev file. It will download the dev file at the current location. You see the file download is done. If you will put ls, oh my bad, ls, you see you are getting the Grafana 10.1.1 amd64.dev. Next, what I need to do? Unpack this particular package which you downloaded. I will execute this, and this will unpack this particular Grafana package. Clear out the console. Now let's execute a command ps-ef grep Grafana. Hit enter, and you see the Grafana process is in the running state. We can see that the Grafana process is in the running state. This is the process ID. This is the location where Grafana is installed, and we are getting a couple of other things as well, like the ini file and the PID file. Now, the question is how we can access the Grafana. On which particular port you can access the Grafana. So Grafana by default execute on port 3000. So what you need to do, you just need to go to a machine, copy the IP of your machine, put it here, colon 3000. Hit enter and you see you are getting the Grafana screen. It is by default redirecting on the Grafana and asking for the email and username. By default, the username and password is the admin. You need to pass the admin and admin over here. Click on the login. It will ask you for the new password. You can set your new password. I will add the new password and click on the submit. And now it will land me on the Grafana default screen. This is the default screen what you will get on the Grafana. We are getting the home. In the home we are getting a couple of options, and on the UI we are getting the tutorials, data source, dashboards, and there are a couple of things. Now the thing is how we can integrate the Prometheus with the Grafana. So let's go to the DigitalOcean and try to access the Prometheus. This is my Prometheus machine. I can copy the IP. Open the IP here on port 9090 and let's check the Prometheus is running or not. Yes, Prometheus is running. We can go to the targets and verify that what are the targets do we have. We have a couple of targets over here. So what I will do, I will simply copy the URL of my Prometheus like this. Go to the Grafana and click on the add your first data source. Over here you see we are getting a couple of options that what are the data source you can add in the Prometheus, and this is a long list. This is a very long list. You will get a lot of plugins, lot of data source which you can basically integrate with the Grafana. You can see this is a very long list, right? This is a very long list that what are the data source you can integrate with the Grafana, right? You can integrate the GitLab, the DB2. You can also integrate the cloud systems like Azure DevOps, Azure Monitoring, right? Alert Manager, Google Analytics. There is a lot of things. What we are interested, in the Prometheus. So we will search for the Prometheus. We are getting the Prometheus here. Click on the Prometheus. You will get the overview, and here you are getting a button add new data source. I will click on this button. Go to the setting. Name is the Prometheus, and over here you need to provide your Prometheus URL. You are also getting the example that you need to provide the URL with the protocol. I will provide the URL. Remove the last slash. Allow cookies, no. Timeout, I don't mind. Basic auth, no authentication. Credentials, no credentials. TLS client, no. Certification, no. Skip TLS, no. Forward authentication, nothing. Manage alerts via the alerting UI, yes. Scraping interval 15 second. Query timeout 60 second. Default builder. In the performance, I can choose the performance type, which is the Prometheus version. And which Prometheus version we are using, we can go to the Prometheus, click on the runtime and build information. We are using the 2.46. So we will search 2.46.x over here. Cache level row, HTTP method is a post, right? Now you can click on save and test. Click on this and you see successfully queried the Prometheus API. Now you can open the data source in a new tab and you will see that you will get your data source available over here, right? You are getting your data source over here, and over here you can click on the explore to explore the more things about your data source. And see, we are getting the Prometheus UI over here in the explore. Over here you can also choose that what dashboard you can use, the Grafana, Prometheus and the mixed, right? If you will go to the Grafana, then you see we are getting a random graph over here. If we can go to the mixed, we will get the Grafana and the Prometheus. And this is the home page. No change over here. Why no change? Because till date we have not created any dashboard. We just configured the Prometheus in the data source. Go to the home, connections, data source, and you will see that the Prometheus data source is basically being connected over here. Here you are getting a couple of options like build a dashboard and a couple of things. We will discuss about these things in the upcoming lecture. So this is the way how you can install the Grafana and how you can connect your Prometheus server with the Grafana. Thank you, team. See you next time.